So let's talk about long-term care, the benefits, how much you could charge for it. So long-term care for me, and it's almost like, well, not just for me, but for you as well, it's like cash money in a sense. Yes, it's insurance, but it's nothing like Medicaid. It's nothing like the private insurances, because once you get Medicaid, these insurance companies are going to pay your company directly. Literally write your company the check, or what can happen is the client will pay you up front, and then they will reimburse the client the money. So it's a couple different ways that long-term care will work, but long-term care is the next thing to private pay, right? So we take private pay money, but long-term care is almost like the paper version of that, because the insurance company is gonna either write you the check, direct deposit your company, or whatever it is, but they're gonna pay you. So how that works is, and why it benefits you as an agency, is because it's almost like a little longevity with these type of clients. Some of these clients can last maybe 2 to 5 years, just depending on their plan. So long-term care plans are different. It's just like any car insurance, any like homeowners insurance. Depending on your policy will determine on how long you'll have this company with you. But we never turn down long-term care insurance clients, right? So if you're not prepared to accept long-term care, then you're tripping. Well, actually, you're lunching. So you want to make sure you are in position to accept these clients because, like I said, it's a longevity with them as well. Now, when it comes to the price that you can charge, it's going to vary, because some long-term care companies will pay like a certain amount of money per hour. So let's say, for instance, if your rates are $35 an hour and the company may only pay $28 an hour. So now you have a few dollars between from the 35 to the 28. So now that's like $7 more extra an hour that your company charges. So you can put that expense on a client as well. So if the client's already getting the 28 paid to the agency, now you can just say, hey, look, these are our prices. And usually the clients, if they really want to go with your services, then they'll take you up and just pay that $7 extra per hour, depending on how many hours it is. Now, another thing you could do is you could lower your rate to the 28 and just take that, but I probably wouldn't recommend that, because like I told you in previous videos, you still want to try to keep your profit margins between 45 to 50%. So if you start going too far under, then you don't leave yourself your room for your agency to have that revenue to be able to do other things in your company, because you're kind of like undercutting your revenue now by decreasing your price. So you always want to keep your price where it is, but just like I said, utilize that long-term care. You got to make sure, in most states, depending on your state requirement, of course, you have to have a license. So what they'll have you do is fill out a W-9 form, and then it'll probably be like an application process where they'll want to see your documentation. They'll want to see your insurance policy to make sure that if anything happens while you are taking care of any of these clients, then you do have a policy in place, which is gonna, be legit for your, it's gonna make your company look legit anyways. And this is just some of the requirements already, and it just benefits you, man, because when you get these long-term care, these people already have the money pretty much. The money is already set aside inside of their insurance policy. Now, the only thing you need to do is just become that provider for these particular clients, and then fill out the paperwork to the insurance company, and literally they're going to make sure that you're going to get paid. So it is a few things that you have to do to make sure that you get paid. In some instances, you'll have to submit the invoices to the long-term care, and then as well as you will have to submit your caregivers notes. So the caregivers will be taking notes on these clients as they go day to day. They're going to be taking these notes, which is going to reflect the care that you are providing for these clients, which the insurance company is going to want to see that to make sure you are providing this care. Say, okay, I'm providing care to Miss Jones with no documentation. So the documentation is going to be important. So even when you send over the invoice without the documentation, it's just not going to make sense. So they're going to be like, nah, this not going to fly, and you probably won't get paid. So look, make sure that you are submitting your documentation. Make sure if you do get a client like that and you understand that you are able to take on these type of clients. So don't turn them down. They are like, they're better than any Medicaid client because the profit margins are already. So with Medicaid, you understand that Medicaid is only going to pay a certain amount of money per hour. And this is like state, it's whatever the state says, that's what they're going to pay. They're not going to pay you any more than that. Now with the long-term care policies, you know, most of the time they're going to be over what Medicaid pays. So yes, they may not meet you at that at your rate 100%, but then you can always, like I said, tell the clients, hey, look, client, you know, our prices is this, the company is going to pay this, but you know, someone still will have to pay this little spread right here. And most of the time, if you're a good company and, you know, they really put their trust in you and they really believe in the services that you're going to provide to them, then they'll end up taking you on and not really trip on the extra amount of money that they may have to pay, because the policy is going to pay the majority of the portion of the money, and then they'll just come out and pay, you know, the $7, the $5 or whatever it is, and they'll make it happen. So don't turn down long-term care. Make sure you're prepared for it, and, you know, like just add it on to your agency. So your private pay, you do accept long-term care. If a client does ask, yes, we accept that, and we accept it right now. Let's go. So yeah, but that's it. I just wanted to hop on here and just go into that a video about the long-term care insurance so you can understand it better. And regardless of what home care agency you are, as long as you follow all of your state requirements, you do qualify to take on long-term care. It's not like no major process or all this long qualification that you have to go through, like going through like Medicaid and all the other different or private insurances. So you'll get straight to the bag. As soon as you get locked in with that provider and that client, guess what? You'll be straight to the bag, and it will be a great add-on to your home care agency. If you watch this video all the way up until this point right now, then it may mean you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you're tired of not fulfilling your dreams and goals and looking for a side hustle that can change your path. Well, lucky for you guys, because I'm not gatekeeping anything. I'll be dropping the sauce this week on how you can generate $10K monthly with the most ignored business model of all times, a home care business. I highly recommend that you click the link below in the description and meet me live this week. Let's get to the bag and make some money together.